You're watching CW Montana. This is the MTN 9 o'clock news.
And good evening. Thanks for joining us on this Monday. I'm Andrea Lutz. Ahead tonight, timber wolves, trout, and yetis. The new Bozeman-Gallatin High School releases a list of potential mascots and colors, and they're giving students the chance to weigh in. Plus, a Montana Republican is gaining national attention for defending Joe Biden as he fights accusations of inappropriate touching. We'll explain. But first, a 17-year-old boy lucky to be alive tonight after being attacked by a grizzly bear near Ennis. The teen was antler hunting south of Ennis just yesterday. When he heard a thump behind him, he turned and saw a bear charging him. Although he was carrying bear spray, he was unable to deploy before the bear was on top of him. At one point, the bear let go. The teen tried to escape, but then was knocked to the ground face down and pinned again. This time, he was able to reach over his shoulder and spray the bear. Wildlife officials say the bear spray is likely the reason the teen escaped.
Things could have been much different for this boy. He's very lucky. He did a lot of things right, you know, a big part of that is carrying and knowing how to use bear spray. That's something we really encourage people to do. You know, in addition to just being cautious, being aware of your surroundings, and using caution.
Bear sightings are becoming more common as the weather warms up, and surprise encounters just like this one could become even more common as bears begin to search for food after hibernation. Authorities are investigating a suspicious death in Missoula after the body of a woman was found. She was found near the campus off of East Broadway in an access tunnel under Interstate 90. Police say the 46-year-old woman was a Missoula County resident, but not a student or a teacher. Police are so far ruling this death suspicious as they investigate. UM police are choosing to increase their presence on campus. New information tonight on a brush fire that raged toward the town of Lame Deer. The fire was started by a wood stove inside of a home. It got out of control and soon grew to more than 1,700 acres yesterday afternoon. The homeowner got out of the house with just minutes to spare. Evacuations were in place on Highway 212 and Highway 39, I should say. Structures were threatened and 2 health clinics were even evacuated. An 81-year-old retired Great Falls priest appears in court to plead guilty to having child pornography. Lothar Krauth admitted to searching for images of child pornography, and he knew that it was illegal. In October of 2018, the Department of Homeland Security in Great Falls police seized 20 items of electronic media from his home. Krauth was assigned to Our Lady of the Lord's Catholic Church in Great Falls until 2014. His sentencing is set for July 18th. It's down to 11 color combinations and 24 different possible mascots for the new Bozeman-Gallatin High School. Superintendent Rob Watson wants the board to approve a poll for students and staff. And the poll would go to students in grades 6 through 9 who live within the Bozeman-Gallatin High School boundary. The results from that poll would then carry over to the community poll a little bit later this month, so they have yet to decide that. There is a new ruling when it comes to the presentation of tribal flags at high school sporting events. Today, Montana High School Association board members voted that the rules were outdated. Now Montana tribes can present their flags before the start of tournaments.
It's really important that the flags are honored along with the state flag and the U.S. flag, because we are an independent nation living within the state of Montana. But we work along with the state of Montana. You know, I think that message came loud and clear that, you know, these flags need to be treated the same as the state flag.
Well, all of this comes after Poplar cheerleaders were told they couldn't present the Fort Peck tribal flag just last month. The new policy now goes into effect immediately. Well, folks who live in Bozeman's high-end subdivisions raised $450,000 to prevent logging adjacent to their homes. Now the timber can't be cut in that area for 25 years. The group Save Our Gallatin Front delivered a signed contract and money to the Montana DNRC. This after a judge ruled in favor of the group's right to bid on the project after they filed a lawsuit. According to the DNRC, this is the first time a group has ever bought land to prevent logging.
There's just a great deal of satisfaction with all of us that have been involved with this, as well as all the community members, because everyone came together to protect this area. So it's really a community-wide effort, and we're just, again, ecstatic that we're able to pull this off.
Well, those with the group, Save Our Gallatin Front, will host a community celebration. That's going to happen just a little bit later this month. New details tonight surrounding a Park County Sheriff's deputy injured in a head-on crash. We're told Deputy Brian Elliott Pearson is in good spirits as he recovers at a Billings hospital. He completed his third surgery this morning. The crash happened Friday on Highway 89 near Livingston. Authorities say 53-year-old Sean Schmitz of Columbus. He died in that crash after his car drifted into Pearson's lane. Pearson says he is thankful to the community for their support as he recovers. After 8 crashes on a curvy road in Kalispell, Flathead commissioners are taking a closer look at how to make the roads safer. The road in question is Rose Crossing. The culprit is a dangerous corner mixed with speed and oftentimes challenging road conditions. With future construction near Reserve Drive and a new Ford dealership going in right there, the traffic is expected to increase, and the county wants to install reflective warning signs and concrete barriers.
What's coming this year is the county road department is going to be installing a radar detect blinking corner sign. So when a car is eastbound coming into the corner, the sign will see them coming and will start to flash with LED lights around the perimeter of the sign.
Yeah, you've probably seen those reflectors from time to time on curvy roads. The new traffic sign should be installed within the next 3 weeks. The Environmental Protection Agency wants to place a cover over massive piles of mining waste in Anaconda to prevent dust. It's part of a Superfund agreement reached with the EPA and the Atlantic Richfield Company. The mounds of waste are left from smelters. A 50-acre cap would go over those waste piles to prevent the dust from blowing harmful contaminants into the air and around. Officials say it will look similar to the existing tailing piles there.
They do contain elements like arsenic and lead and cadmium, so we don't want those elements to be introduced into the community. So if there's some release of slag onto soils, it has the potential to recontaminate those soils.
This is the latest step in a part of an overall Superfund project designed to clean up Anaconda's smelters by the year of 2025. A Montana Republican is defending former Vice President Joe Biden, 2020 presidential frontrunner, as he faces accusations of inappropriate touching. Jeannie Echtart, she wrote an opinion piece on the issue, and then it was published in Medium.com. She says her father, diagnosed with the same stage 4 brain cancer as Biden's son, Beau. During the event in Helena, she was able to meet Biden, and they shared a long, big hug, is what she said. And she also